Most of us probably know how much a gimbal can transform a camera experience, but a gimbal in a smartphone? Well, that's exactly what the X50 Pro by Vivo offers. So in this video, I'm going to give you a review on this smartphone with a gimbal here on EMKWAN Reviews. So I want to start off this review by talking about the unboxing experience. Now, alongside the X50 Pro, I've been using these with a pair of wireless vivo in-ear headphones, and I'll talk more about that later on in the video. But to begin with, we're going to get the device itself alongside a 33-watt flash charge. You also get a pair of wired headphones, and you also get some paperwork with a SIM ejector tool. Now at this price point, it's nice to see Vivo have also included a see-through silicone case. Alongside that, we're also going to get a USB-C charging cable. Now in the hand, the first thing that struck me about the vivo X50 Pro was the build quality. It certainly looks and feels premium, and you can see that Vivo have paid attention to the finer details on this device. Now on the front, the real standout is that screen. It is a beautiful 3D curved Ultra O screen display, essentially a 6.56 inch AMOLED display with a cutout punch hole design on the top left hand side. The curvature on that display is just the right amount to feel comfortable in the hand, but the display is absolutely stunning. It has support for HDR10+ technology, plus you have a high refresh rate of between 60 to 90 Hz, and the 90 Hz can be easily activated within the settings. And it also has a high response rate as well, so that means you're going to get a much more fluid overall experience with this device. Now there is a fingerprint scanner under that display, and it does work. However, I found that it was slower than using the face unlock method, which certainly works much more reliably and more accurately. As far as performance is concerned, this is powered by the Snapdragon 765G chipset and the Adreno 620 for the GPU. You have 8 GB of RAM on this particular model with 256 GB of storage. But if you want to bump up the RAM, you can go all the way up to 12 GB. I think, to be totally honest, most people will be more than happy with 8 GB of RAM when it comes to performance for multitasking, including gaming. On the gaming front, I did find that the device performed pretty well, particularly around graphic intensive gaming. And there's a feature called Game Assistant, which gives you the best performance in terms of settings when you're playing games. Now, as far as software is concerned, this is powered by Android 10, and it's got Vivo's own skin on top called Fun Touch, and this is version 10.6. Now, most people will be more than happy with the skin on top of it. There is very little bloatware, unlike some other markets, so I didn't have a problem or any issues with the overall skin. And there are a couple of customizations that you can do to get the best experience. With the X50 Pro, I also used Vivo's own TWS Earphone Neo. This is essentially their wireless earbuds. You get a 14.2mm large driver unit that gives you enhanced audio qualities, including stereo sound. Plus, it's easy to set up. You pop open the lid, pair it up with the X50 Pro or with other platforms and devices. As well as that, you get low latency when you pair it up directly with the X50 series. That's going to be incredibly useful in tasks like gaming, where the latency is a big factor. As well as that, it's got AI noise cancellation, and you've got slide bar on the side to give you controls. Overall, they're actually really nice earbuds with very good battery life as well. So you're getting a total of 22.5 hours of battery life with the charging case incorporated. Next, I want to talk about the star feature on this smartphone, and that's on the back with that gimbal camera system. This is the first time that we've seen something like this in a mass-produced smartphone, and essentially it's a camera gimbal system that gives you better stabilization, and this is not only in video but also in photography, which I'll demo in a moment. But talking about specs, on the back you have a quad camera setup made up of 48 megapixel f1.6 wide with gimbal optical image stabilization, and that's paired up with an 8 megapixel f3.4 periscope telephoto with 5x optical zoom, OIS. You also get 13 megapixel f2.5 for the portrait with 2x optical zoom, and then finally an 8 megapixel ultra wide. I've been incredibly impressed with the camera system on this smartphone, particularly when you compare this smartphone and its price point to some more expensive Android powered smartphones. Overall, the image quality is incredibly good. At various focal lengths, you're going to get good color accuracy, color vibrancy, and overall good dynamic range. Talking of focal length, this will be able to zoom at a maximum of 60x, something that Vivo are calling hyper zoom, and it does a good job. I mean, there is a lot of noise at that maximum zoom, but it still does pick up on good details. Now, as well as that, you'll notice that in lower light conditions, it has a feature called super night mode. And the gimbal camera system here really comes into effect because it increases the incoming light and it gives you stabilization, so you get much better quality shots in low light. But we have to talk about the video quality, because with 5-axis VIS video stabilization, you're going to get really impressive video throughout. Check this out.
Now, video is actually really good because we've got a standard of 4K at 60 frames per second, and you'll notice that even in this form, without ultra stable turned on, it still does a very good job, particularly with stabilization. As I pan around, move around and walk, you'll notice that it's got a good stabilization throughout. But if you want stabilization to really kick in with that gimbal system, then there is a mode called ultra stable. So this is ultra stable turned on, and wow, immediately I can tell a difference on the screen here. As I'm walking around, it really looks like I'm not walking around. It just looks like the gimbal has really kicked in there. Wow. Now, just to test that out, what I'm going to do is go for a little sprint over there. Wow, that's insane. It is incredibly smooth. Check that out. It is incredibly smooth. Let's just go back there for another run, just to prove it. Oh, my shadow's not there. Wow. That is incredibly stable. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think.
Finally, the battery life on this, you get a 4,315 milliamp hour battery, and for the most part it does a reasonable job. I think really intensive users of smartphone, particularly if you're going to be recording multiple videos, might notice that this battery life could be improved somewhat, but for the most part it does a good job. Now, in the box you get that 33 watt fast charger, and you're going to get from flat to 55% in around about 30 minutes. Going all the way from flat to 100% will take just under 70 minutes in my testing. All in all, I've been really incredibly impressed with this smartphone. I think it offers an incredible value at this price point, and Vivo have done a good job all the way from the hardware, the display, all the way through to the camera system. That gimbal camera technology on paper might seem like a gimmick, but it's incredible just how well it performs day to day, both for images and video quality. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Plus, if you're new around here, be sure to smash that subscribe button to see more video content like this. If you've enjoyed this video, hit like as well. That's it from me for now. I'll see you in the next video here on EMKWAN Reviews. Until then, stay safe, peace and blessings.